Get another one of these. So, hello there. Welcome to Gateshead International Stadium. This is the Heat Army podcast. Myself, David Gaddis. I'm joined by Mark Carruthers. We're going to be bringing you a full match commentary here this afternoon for, well, it's a game that both teams need to win. Scunthorpe, you would say, more hungry for the points. Potentially, they could be mathematically relegated today on goal difference. All but, should I say, if Gateshead win here today and Yeovil lose at home to Aldershot further down the country. So it's all to play for, and there's a good travelling contingent on the far side. It's filling up. Scunthorpe, well-supported team, of course, Mark. You never want to see a team going down here, but what a torrid time Scunthorpe United have had over the last 18 months.
I remember back in 2009 being at Glanford Park when Scunthorpe United beat Newcastle United.
Yeah.
Martin Wolford, I think, scored that day. To see where they are now is genuinely heartbreaking. A big club, a football league club in every single thing but name and status now. Fans deserve better. A loyal, a passionate support deserve better than what they're getting at the moment. And what I will say is, if worst does come to worst and they do go down, then they've got a manager in Jimmy Dean that knows the level. They have good people behind the scenes like Michael Nelson, who of course we know well.
Yeah.
From our time at from his time here at Gateshead and obviously managing up the road at Blythe. You hope with the new owner going in that a resurrection of fortunes will come about.
Of course, before the transfer window closed and things like that, Scunthorpe really went for it in February, January. Brought in a lot of players. I think it was about 9 players, wasn't it? They managed to get under the new ownership. Big contract handed out. They're going to have a decent squad next year if the players do stay to try and get out of that level. That's when we're talking if they're down, but it's not looking good for Scunthorpe. But as you say, probably the equally or just as big a team as Stockport County that went down to that level. York as well, and all of them teams didn't bounce straight back up. It's a very hard level to get out of.
The National League North is for me one of the most diverse leagues in the whole pyramid. I mean, you look at the bottom end of it, and you've got clubs that are, they're not big clubs at all. But then you look at the top end at the moment. Your Darlingtons obviously making their way back. Former Football League club, Kidderminster Harriers, former Football League club. There's so many in there. It is a tough division.
And of course, there's the dynamic that we come up against as well. There's a lot of part-time sides there, but that's not to say that the part-time players, these players know how to look after themselves these days. There's Paul Musselwhite, Gateshead hero, down there on the coaching staff for Scunthorpe. And I'll say Mark needs his headphones turned up a little bit there.
I do want to hear you for once.
There we go. Yeah, he wants to hear me for once. But no, you go down to that level and, you're coming up against Football League players that maybe drop down to part-time because they're working and making a very good wage playing part-time. So the level, just because it's part-time, a lot of the clubs, doesn't actually mean it's part-time.
Well, I look at players that have played at that level, and, we could talk about North East. I might get battered for this. North East legends like your Robbie Dales and Glenn Taylor. I mean, 2 players that I think could have played Football League quite comfortably.
You could go down the years. There's so many players. John Milner, Bedlington Terriers, prolific goal scorer. Of course, he like John Shaw, as he got older, went towards the playing defence. But these are players that are in and around, and it's all over the country, not just the North East, but players that could be playing at a higher level, and that's what Scunthorpe potentially could be coming up against next year.
Got no doubt about that. Players that you've mentioned there could go higher, could go considerably higher. But it just didn't happen for one reason or another, and that is the danger of being in the National League North, where you come up against players that are getting paid decent money to play in at a good level in non-league, but they're also getting paid in their job. That's why they haven't gone higher.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that's obviously the connotations and things that can happen for Scunthorpe. Gateshead, of course, on a good run at the moment. With a victory today, Gateshead could be 8 points clear of the relegation zone, and that is a massive shot in the arm. If you go back 6-7 weeks, you were 5 points adrift at one point. Still games in hand, but Gateshead they've made them count, as they did on Tuesday night against Yeovil in fine form. The squad has been rotated. We'll go through it very shortly. But at the moment, Gateshead have got the luxury of being able to rotate players. And you were doing the talking in the corporate area before the game. And you mentioned Gateshead, essentially, they've kind of got 2 teams at the moment. They've got a cup squad and a league squad.
They have, the amount of players that came in sort of mid-season that were cup tied, couldn't play in the FA Trophy, is not, I'd say hammered. I think in some ways it's probably helped because it's meant that Mike Williamson and Ian Watson have had to rotate. But you look as well, they've had injuries, severe injuries, by the way. So to be even with a shout of staying up is remarkable. What I will say, and I don't think it's been said too much, to get to a trophy final, and then if they were to stay in this league, and to get to the first round of the FA Cup inside a season, is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable effort from a club who, as we keep saying, the budget isn't what it is at other clubs in the league. I would arguably say they've got one of the lowest budgets in the league, but it's been well spent this year. It's been tested, but it's been well spent this year, and I think they deserve massive credit for what they've done,
without a doubt. And geographically up here, of course, the world's richest club on paper, Newcastle United, just a few miles away. You can see the St James's from the back of the town, and we are stand here in Gateshead. And it's for both teams to get there, and I've kind of said this phrase, the haves and the have-nots have both got there.
Yeah.
Both work very hard at it. Both do it using what they've got to the best of their abilities. But what a story for Tyneside, though. In the greater scheme of things, to have, the club that's both clubs coming back from a weaker position, should we say, different on different scales, of course. But yeah, it's a magical time for football on Tyneside at the moment.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And let's hope Gateshead can go to Wembley and do what Newcastle United couldn't. Admittedly at a lower level. But it would be lovely to think that a trophy could come back here, a second one in 2 years.
Yeah,
we should say what an achievement that would be for the club. But yeah, it's a great time. It's great to be covering both sides as well, and to we look at this Gateshead side. I think personally, and I know no one at the club would say it because they're fully focused on the next game once one's done. But I think a win today sees them safe.
Potentially, and we've got a message on the screen on our YouTube stream. For the audio listeners, Alan guessed, but if Gateshead win today, how near will they be? As you say, a lot closer. 8 points is a fantastic thing. 2 wins in the remaining 6-7 games would absolutely, I think, would nail that on. Because the teams, obviously, we'll see what Scunthorpe have got left in the tank. They'll have plenty of fight. They're going to go at it today. It's not going to be an easy test by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to be going for it. And as I mentioned, I think on the podcast, I don't know if you were on at that point, Mark, before you left us, that Gateshead at the moment are great at exploiting gaps, and Scunthorpe, they are going to have to go for it. They can't sit back for the full game. The Gateshead's going to have to do what they do best and run into those channels.
Well, a draw's not really good enough for Scunthorpe today, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
They need the 3 points. What I would say is, looking at the side that they put out, there is a lot of attacking threat in there. We know what Danny Elliott can do. We've seen that this season here at Gateshead in that brilliant loan spell. Cameron Wilson, I think, is top goal scorer, a young lad who's got potential. And on the bench, Marcus Carver, who not so long ago was at Hartlepool United, scored goals at Southport in the National League North, is threat off the bench as well. So, yeah, there is threat there from Scunthorpe. However, Gateshead, looking at what they've done this week so far, you would hope would be confident enough to come out and get another 3 points.
Well, dare I say, Gateshead have been playing with a swagger of late, and a big factor in that has been the form of Captain Greg Orley as well. I wouldn't say he's struggled this season. Obviously, the heights of last season with the assists that he had was going to be very hard to replicate, even if it was still in the National League North. But he's grew in confidence. He's scored a couple of goals of late, and he's really he looks comfortable on the ball. And the sign of a good player is they ghost into space, and that is what he's doing at the moment, Mark.
But you don't like to sort of ask players about their confidence or anything like that. But I bridged the subject with Greg before the trophy semi-final, and he said he's always confident in his own ability, and you kind of get that from him. But I don't think there's any doubt that he hasn't, maybe the first couple of months of the season didn't hit the levels that Greg Orley can hit. However, in the last 3 to 4 weeks, I think we've very much seen the Greg Orley getting on the ball, dictating the game, bringing, creating chances, scoring goals as well.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a very different Greg Orley, and I think we'll see that again today.
And another thing as well, I would say, obviously, Greg and a lot of the players, like Mike Williamson, are always hungry to learn and adapt their own games. But I think to counter a little bit of what you said at the beginning about struggling, I think a lot of teams knew about him, and he was singled out in a lot of games by away opposition. They did try and block him in midfield, and to some success, but also as well, we have to look back and say the loss of the strikers, that the people to aim for maybe weren't there. It was a little bit of a different dynamic. But now in Marcus Denanga, Adam Campbell, and we've got Wern that's coming to the squad as well when he plays higher up. We've got movement, we've got confusion for the defence. The only people that aren't confused is the Gateshead forward three.
Well, I'm intrigued today. I know we haven't read the lineups out yet, but we will in a minute. But
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how Gateshead line up today because I've tried to work the formation out. I spent about 20 minutes doing it, and I still can't get it. But
Well, Mike Williamson and Ian Watson come out on the pitch. I'll go through the opposition. It's Tom Bilton in goal, Regan Ogle, former Gateshead Loney, Danny Elliott, Captain Liam Feeney, Ben Richards, Everton, Cameron Wilson, Finlay Shrimpton, Jake Leake, Will Smith, not that one, Tom Pugh and Sean Shields, Adam Boyce, Marcus Carver, Jacob Butterfield, Dion Simba Ferris, and Dean Ranson. I'll go for the Gateshead team when they come out. So, on paper, you would think that is a very, very good side from Scunthorpe, but it just isn't clicking for them at the moment, and we'll let you know everything that happens here. Just before we go on, we've got a couple more messages. Keep sending them in. We'll read them in a break and play. Like and subscribe. It really does help. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season. And Gateshead now come out onto the pitch, led by Greg Ollie, and he's got a little mascot there with him as well. Hopefully she's a good luck mascot for Gateshead. And this is how Gateshead line up. It's Philip Marshall in goal, Robbie Tinkler, Louis Story, Ethan Pye, Dan Ward, Stephen Wern, Callum Whelan, Ed Francis, the captain Greg Ollie, Camille Conter and Marcus Denanga. And a strong bench from Gateshead, James Montgomery, Owen Bailey, Adam Campbell, Aaron Martin and Connor Panny. Gateshead in their grey strips, black shorts, white socks for our audio listeners. And they're in all yellow with a tinge of the home colours of the claret and blue of Scunthorpe United. And they're just going through the handshakes now. If you're just joining us on National League TV, thank you very much for joining us. And as I say, anyone watching on YouTube and Facebook to the audio stream can message us as they have done. We've got a message from Mike Cow, and just adding into the conversation that we had there before, Mark, staying up would be a bigger achievement than winning the league last year, in my opinion. And if we stay up and win the FA Trophy, shout for Manager of the Year for Mike and Busted. Well, as I say, we were talking about the achievements with the budget here, or lack of, you could maybe say, compared to our rivals around the league. But they've done their due diligence. They've brought in players that have a work rate and effort, and they've certainly got unity out there.
They brought in good characters, and that's not a surprise because that was what last season was built on. Good character, obviously skill and that ability and all that side. But the characters in the dressing room were good characters. It was a good squad to work around. It was a good squad to be around. The players that they brought in have only been exactly the same. I mean, you look at the impact Denanga's made on and off the pitch. You look at Ethan Pye, how well he's done when he's come in. The good lads, the two lads in midfield who are starting today. It's just a good squad to be around, and there's no coincidence that the togetherness is there. You can sense it when you're in there. You can see it in photos that they're putting out. They enjoy being around each other and they enjoy playing together.
I certainly do. And if Gateshead do score today, you'll see a mass group celebration, but it's a quick celebration because we spoke to Greg Ollie, and he said as soon as they get into that huddle, it's about getting back out there and focus. Let's get another one. But as I talk about huddle, so Scunthorpe, they need everything they can get today. They need to get themselves points today on the board to survive in the National League. They don't want a second consecutive relegation, and we're going to be getting underway very shortly here. Gateshead are going to be shooting towards the River Tyne, Scunthorpe towards the Felon End to our right. And well, I say a couple of former Gateshead players on the bench for Scunthorpe in the coaching staff. We've got Mickey Nelson, and we've got one of the best goalkeepers ever put on a jersey here at Gateshead, and he's golden years, should we say, when he was here, was Paul Musselwhite, part of that promotion winning side.
Is it? Oh, I'm going to wait to figure out the formation. I'm just looking.
Does look like the three at the back again, with Wern left wing back, Ward right wing back. So we're underway here, and now we'll see how we get on in the opening stages. Ball over the top. It's going to bounce all the way through to Philip Marshall, as I've been corrected by his parents. Lovely to meet them, by the way. So
yeah, I think you've called it right there, Dave. I think it does look like the same formation again, as you say, with Wern and Ward as wing backs.
Very high wing backs, of course. They're more playing like an Orion Giggs position, but they do get back defensively. So, we wait for this throw to be taken. Pugh manages to launch the ball forward. Elliott holding the ball up. Gateshead managed to intercept and they can pass it back to Marshall. And as expected, I think we're going to see a pressing Scunthorpe side here this afternoon when Gateshead get in possession. But Dan Ward carries the ball over the halfway line in front of the travelling fans. Passes inside to Whelan. Back to Dan Ward, who's adapted to life like Connor Panny to a wing-back position. But that's nice. As now Ollie, can he thread the ball through? He does. Oh, and the ball's just too heavy. Ward was coming through. I thought it was going to come into the centre, but that's a goal kick to Scunthorpe.
Yeah, just not switched on there with the Scunthorpe. They've the run from Ward. I think if the ball's right, he's in pretty much right hand side. Here's this high press again from Gateshead.
Well, they're playing out short from the back, very similar to Gateshead. As Ogle cuts inside with the ball, corner of the box, keeps going. He's still driving with the ball. He's going for it there, but he's dispossessed, and that's the danger. Gateshead now can get the ball out to Wern. He's on the corner of the box, left hand side, cuts in. Can he lay it off to Ollie? Just put it behind him, and Denanga's going to try and chase to get there, and they can clear in turn. But yeah, Gateshead just
concentration levels there from Scunthorpe, just not quite there, were they? They as I say, a switch.
It's always the danger when a player goes on a run out of position there. He's going to leave a gap behind him, and Gateshead nearly capitalised. Francis lays it back to Pye. Story back to Pye. He's under pressure though. Gets it past Feeney, the captain, and now Francis has space to run into, but Feeney's trying to track him down. Inside to Denanga. Was there, and well, ball played on. The foul has been it's been played on. Now, as Wilson has the ball right hand side up against Pye, lays it off to captain Feeney. Feeney plays it back. Ball from Shields forward. He's still got the ball. Shields now. Feeney back to Shields. Nice play down the right hand side. Ball crossed into the box, headed behind for a corner from Tinkler. No nonsense, but that was a nice bit of fair pass and play down the right hand side.
Just got in a little bit too easy for me there down that right hand side. It wasn't really anything complicated. It was a pretty basic move. Some Gateshead defenders just not tracking their runners, and this is a threat, because this looks like quite a big Scunthorpe side.
Well, Feeney comes over to take the corner on our right-hand side into the 4th minute, 0-0 if you are just joining us, either on audio or the National League TV streaming service. All the players more or less in the 6-yard box. It's going to come in tight towards the keeper. Marshall just plucks it out the air.
Awful corner, by the way.
Yeah, it's training ground stuff for the keeper there, just to pluck that out the air, but he distributes the ball over to Ward, who has space to run into. Acres of space, crosses the halfway line.
If they can get a quick switch here, there's...
Yeah, Wern's on the... But back out to Ward on the right-hand side. Looks to play it forward for Ollie. Just comes off the defender in front of him. And Ward intercepts. Can he get past again? Oh, he's done well. He's chased it down and won the ball. Whelan was showing for him. Still going though, Ward. He's having to go backwards. Needs to distribute this to a teammate, and he has. And Gateshead now can cross this one in. It's deep. Headed clear by Ogle, but Ollie with a shot deflected out. Gateshead tried to get the second ball, and now the ball is going to be played by Feeney off Pye, and it's a throw in just inside Scunthorpe's half in front on the other side.
Nice and easy play there from Dan Ward, just holding on to possession as long as possible.
He had run into a dead end there, but he did manage to distribute it.
Greg Ollie, when he's taking that first touch, you think just get the shot away, just couldn't get it away quick enough, and a good block by the defender.
Well, it's a poor throw and Gateshead intercept. Tinkler can play it back to Story. Story takes a touch and then tries to pick out the run of Denanga. But it's going to be a good battle on that far side with Everton. Ball out for a Gateshead throw though.
Looked anything but comfortable there, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, Ward receives the ball. Tinkler wasn't the best communication. Tinkler loses the ball. Ball pinged forward and now it's rolled out, unfortunately, for Tom Pugh. That wasn't Pugh, sorry, Cameron Wilson. Couldn't keep it in.
Miscommunication there between Tinkler and Ward. That was a promising situation.
Nervy moment. The first 6 minutes we're into here. Ollie nods it into the centre, but there was Smith to head it clear. Headed clear by Everton, but Ollie brings it down and Pugh can clear it.
You do get the feeling so far that, and I know it's still very early stages, that there's nerves in this Scunthorpe side. Yeah. And I think defensively as well, you can get at them. You can get in behind them.
Ollie Tinkler puts it up towards, and Richard Everton doesn't look the most confident player at the moment, does he? There, but he managed to clear the ball. Going as far as Gateshead though, and now Ward tried to play it inside to Ollie. It's just scrappy. Scunthorpe try and get the ball moving, which they do across to Ogle. Ogle plays it back inside. And he's put himself under pressure. Gateshead trying to turn the screw off the ball, but Feeney now looks to get the ball moving and come across Whelan.
Yeah, it's just missed the ball. He's unlucky there, to be fair.
The ball just rolled away from him before he could get the contact. Free kick just inside the Gateshead half.
Yeah, I think Gateshead's press just wasn't quite effective there. Scunthorpe worked them way out of a pretty decent area from a Gateshead point of view, and maybe just a little bit too easy for Mike Williamson's liking.
Not that we're into fashion and sense, but Ogle has a mullet. It's the first mullet we've seen at the stadium this season, or in quite a few seasons. As the ball goes up towards...
Oh, someone's got to read that.
Richard. Oh, his first touch doesn't look filling with confidence, does it? Richard Everton.
Depends which side you're on.
I know, yeah. Ball to Ward. Lovely touch to... Oh, he passes it back to Ward. Ward can keep it going. Tackle didn't... pinged off Ward towards Scunthorpe. They didn't do anything with the ball when they moved it forward, and Gates can try and build now through Pye. Pye couldn't get the ball through. Good tackle from Danny Elliott, and now Ogle runs into Francis, who goes down there.
Stereotype here, but Ogle is Australian, so
is he?
They love a mullet.
Oh, right. Well, there we go. There, they do like a mullet down there,
which is funny because the Scunthorpe kit is a bit like one of the old Australian one-day international cricket kits.
If there's anyone listening from Australia, it's a fine mullet.
It is. It's impressive. I've done them proud.
I haven't got the growth anymore. Not unless I want to look like a monk. But Gateshead now on the attack through Tinkler. Denanga holds it up, just turns into Pew, but Ward picks up the loose ball. Jesus. The final ball just isn't sitting up for Gateshead and going through. But they can build from the back again as Whelan plays it out to Wern. Wern up against Ogle. Whelan plays it inside. Now Pye has acres of space. Too much space. Crossfield ball to Ward. Lovely vision. Now can they get a delivery into the box? In it comes. It's deflected. And Gateshead have the ball though. Edge of the box. Denanga, people are shouting to shoot. He hasn't got the space for it. Tried to lay it off. Wern didn't anticipate it.
It's a little bit of a lack of communication.
There was. And now Scunthorpe on the break. Shields drives forward, puts it out to the far side. And it hasn't been kept in. It has. There's Pew. Wilson is over at the far side. He's won himself a corner. Well,
Gateshead get themselves into some promising positions here, but it's just not quite clicked just yet.
Defence is sitting very tight in Scunthorpe's credit. They're not letting things go through, but just got to try and pick out a better pass, Gateshead. But we've seen there, Scunthorpe can break. As Richards Everton's come up. He's on the edge of the box. So
Feeney's taking it, isn't he?
Yeah, I think this is going to be more of a sweeping one. There isn't as many people in the 6-yard box, if any.
Definitely a planned set piece.
Yeah. They're all going to come storming in here. It's going to be a whipped curling one, I think it is. Here it comes. And Everton gets the header on and past the post. Well past the post. Out for a corner. Goal kick even. Apologies. 10 minutes gone. 0-0 if you're just joining us, Gateshead. Looking okay at the moment, but
do you know what?
Have to be respected. The ball over the top for Denanga, though.
Very good.
Ward, right-hand side. Off inside the Scunthorpe half. Plays it inside to Denanga. He needs some movement. He needs a grey shirt to aim for. He's got it in Conter. Conter has Wern in space on the left. Now, can he drive at Ogle? A little bit of trickery in the box. He's still going, lays off the Conter. Everyone's shouting, shoot from Conter. The crowd got excited, but it took a deflection and it's a corner.
Yeah, really nice from Stephen Wern there. Really good pace on the pass. Just allows Conter just to take a little touch to get it out of his feet. Just closed down very well there, we should say. I'm not sure it was going in anyway. If I'm honest, we are behind it.
I think that was going to go well wide.
Gateshead have worked some lovely set pieces in recent weeks, haven't they?
They have, and it's been a mixture as well. It hasn't been the same one over and over. There's been a variety of these short corners. I don't think it'll happen here, but we'll see.
Something planned.
As Wern is trying to show as well, but I think Whelan comes over. There's a lot of movement here. It is. Well, goes into the centre. There's Louis Story. He could wrestling. He's going to keep the ball in. No, he's got some support. Pye. Ball played just past him. Has to adjust his run to get to it. Tinkler just stops the ball. Plays it across to...
Got a chance here to drive forward.
To Whelan. Whelan's got space. He's still got loads of space. Out to Ollie. Ollie now. 2 men closing him down. Inside to Francis. Francis going to put it into Conter. Conter takes a touch. Puts it back out to Ollie. Lovely stuff. Can we get a delivery into the box? Comes to Dinanga. He's held it up. Oh, he rolls it to Conter. Can he get a space to open himself up? Shot. Oh, over the bar.
Balance.
He was leaning back when he hit it. And the space was there. And it's just Gateshead starting to find it a little bit more with ease.
I think just at the very last second there, Cameron Conter's just panicked a little bit and tried to get the shot away, possibly a little bit quicker than he had to.
I don't think he thought the defender was going to slip. But the ball is going to be controlled by Story. It just skims off his thigh and out for a throw on the far side.
There's definite promise here for Gateshead, though, going forward. You can see things are just starting to click into gear, but they need to take advantage.
I certainly do, and I'll just have a little look at some scores around the league. The ones that concern Gateshead on all 0-0 at the moment. As Danny Elliott has the ball, turns and crosses it blind. It does stay in. Wern has to come across to get to the ball though, under pressure. And where's that? Well, well, he put it out with his head lying on the touchline there. Corner to Scunthorpe. Feeney comes across. And they're setting up different for this one again. They're all hanging around the penalty spot. Are we going to see a one whipped in towards the 6-yard box this time? In it comes. It's going to go deep though. Very deep. Header was won. And Owen had to be headed away by Conter. Story now pokes it clear to Whelan. Now Gateshead on the break. Whelan puts the ball forward for Wern. It just skims off his ankle and Ogle can pass it back. And
well, someone's offside.
Yeah. Well, Gateshead got the ball under control through Tinkler. Tinkler spots a man across this side. Can Ogle head that? He can. Too much time, too much space. Wasn't the best delivery though. Fortunately falls to Gateshead. Whelan pokes it to Wern. Wern back to Whelan. Nice. Oh, there we go. Lovely stuff. Gateshead just moving the ball around as Scunthorpe get themselves back into defensive shape as the Conter is on the left-hand side up against Ogle now. Goes inside with it. Dinanga comes short. Was that a handball? Surely handball. I don't know how the referee said that wasn't. That would have been a free kick on the edge of the box.
Do you know what? There is a complete lack of confidence in this back line here. They are panicking every time we get in the ball. It's just, I know we talk about keeping it simple.
Oh, lovely stuff. Conter driving into the box from the left-hand side. Can he pull it back across? He wins a corner. But yeah, there's just
it's nerves.
It is.
Sense it.
Well, there's no scores that directly involve Gateshead around the bottom of the league at the moment. There's a quick one. Whelan, edge of the box. Can he get a shot off? He composes himself, strikes it, it deflects. But Gateshead camped out inside the Scunthorpe half. Tinkler pings the ball up to the edge of the box. Been cleared. Now Scunthorpe can try and break. Feeney didn't spot Pugh on the Wilson on the right-hand side, but they're breaking down the left. Feeney. Pies went over there with him. Gets past Pye. Lovely stuff. But there's Ward. Good cover and play. But Feeney, good feet there to get past Pye.
I think that's come from Tinkler just making a bad decision. He's got Ollie left hand side in front of us. Had a crossfield ball that would have really opened up Scunthorpe. Yeah. But good break that again. You can see pace on the attack. They might look nervy in defence, but there's definitely some promising attack here for Scunthorpe. 15 minutes gone 0-0 at the moment. Scunthorpe with a corner on the far side. The captain Feeney is yet again another. It's a big gap, by the way.
As in comes the ball now, aimed towards the edge of the area. There's Marshall just to pluck it out the air. He's seen Wern. Ball's going to go up. Ogle's going to have that all day, but can get to pick up the second ball. Nodded back up over the halfway line. Dinanga wins the header, but it falls to a yellow shirt. Went over the heads though, and Gateshead clear the ball up. Headed clear by Sleek.
Just play on.
Well, Gateshead have a free kick just inside the centre circle.
Sure, he could have just played on.
Well, Danny Elliott not letting it be paid. It was inside the centre circle where it happened. Well, Gateshead just take it from inside their own half. We're underway. Whelan. Tinkler's in space on the far side. Ball dinked over towards him. Back to Story. Ollie pings it back to Pye. Mike Whittington on the touchline, just telling him to carry the ball forward. Story gets it, just pinging it around the back. Nice ball to Tinkler to run onto. Ward hugging the touchline, tries to cut in, dispossessed, but the ball from Shields goes straight out. Definitely nerves in the Scunthorpe side. It's plain to see. Ball for Ollie, edge of the box. What can he do? Can he go for the shot? Lays it off. Dinanga. Can he get the shot away past the post? Oh, for a second, I thought he might have just strayed offside and come back on, but the flag stayed down. Goal kick to Scunthorpe.
Yeah, it did look, didn't it, as if it was just gonna sneak in. Sorry, given offside, I should say. Again, just off balance, I think, when he struck that.
Well, they're building out from the back, Scunthorpe, and they're doing themselves no favours there. That there isn't anyone going wide to receive the ball.
How good's that partnership been in midfield, by the way?
Whelan and Francis, it's really clicked as Ward drives forward. Still going Conter. Everyone's saying shoot, but Wern's out here. Lovely vision. Can he pull it back across? He can. It stayed in. Now it comes back across. Ollie chests it down. Shot. Back of the net! The captain does it again. And Gateshead take the lead against Scunthorpe.
Brilliant finish. I'll tell you what, credit Stephen Wern, because he's picked out a brilliant ball there. He had time, he could have panicked, he could have just lashed that across goal. You can see it's a purposeful pass. He's picked out Greg Ollie. It's a great cross, great first touch, and what a finish as well, because I think that's possibly the only place he could have put that to finish it.
Certainly did. Well, 18 minutes gone, Gateshead 1, Scunthorpe 0, and I think there might be an injured player for Scunthorpe. The physio ran down the touchline there after the goal, and there's a player as well that was warming up that looks like he could possibly going to be coming on. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if there is any developments on it. But at the moment, Gateshead, they've capitalised. I mean, the ball from Conter to Wern in the first part of that build-up was lovely as well. Just left the defence standing still.
In great form at the moment, isn't he, Greg?
It's lovely to see, and we had a conversation, you, me, and Paul Dixon, beginning of last season.
Not the worst ball.
And Bilson come out there, was very close to the edges, to the edge area. But we had a conversation, me, you, Paul Dixon, we said that when Greg Ollie got Greg Ollie got the captain's armband, that he had to stand up and put it in, week out. And credit to the lad. The results might not have been there, but the drive and determination always has been. Ogle has space to run with the ball. Not many options though, but he does get it out to Pugh on the right-hand side. Pugh has Elliott just on the touchline. Still goes. Gets it out to Elliott now. Elliott's first touch wasn't the greatest. Conter's there, and Gateshead can try and break again. Ollie, there isn't anyone on the right-hand side. He just carries the ball forward now to Conter. Conter looks and sees. He thought Ward was in more space, but calm in possession there, Gateshead. They could have just blasted the ball forward, but
I think he just got caught between two options there. Cameron Conter looking for the ball for Ward. I think Ollie was on as well and just hasn't quite got enough on it to get either.
Well, Greg has made the difference so far here. Throw on the far side. And dare I say, Mark, another goal. We've already seen nerves from Scunthorpe here. It's in the back of the mind. They know they have to get something in this game. And they need someone to stand up and do something in this game.
They do. They need a reaction. And at the moment, we haven't really seen it. Gateshead have kept themselves on top after getting that goal. But again, I will keep saying this. There is threat in this side. We know what Danny Elliott can do. And Gateshead have just got to keep doing what they're doing.
Nice ball out to Tinkler on the right-hand side. Brings it down. He's got space to run into. Too much space. He's still going. Just slows it down. And there's the ball out to Dan Ward. Can he get a first-time one in? Pulls it back across. He tried to pull it inside to Ollie. And they can try and clear now, Scunthorpe. But you've just seen that gap of 20 yards between the defence and midfield there. Our centre-back shouldn't be able to run into that space unchallenged.
No, it's really poor. And I think it's going to happen again here, by the way.
Whelan looks, he sees Wern.
Look at that.
Didn't have the space. Now, if we look at Wern, he's just pulled away. Dinangas goes for the shot. He did see him, but he had the eye on goal. But now Wern can get the ball. Left-hand side of the pitch. Just carries it inwards. Pye.
Switch on if you get that.
Across to Tinkler. Once again, he had 30 yards to run into if he wanted to, but he picked out Ward. Ward, a nice ball back from Ollie. Oh, he's still going. Ward was fortunate. Can he put it back across? And he wins the corner.
Brilliant. Really good from Ollie and Ward. That we've seen that link up many a time this season, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's just too easy. It's too easy at the moment for Gateshead. And, Scunthorpe, someone at the back's got to get a hold of them, or the manager needs to have a word, because Gateshead at the moment are just walking past them.
Well, if you're a Scunthorpe fan, if you're watching on National League TV, the gaps are there. They're easy to be seen. It'd be disappointing, but a ball to Whelan. Feeney just managed to get there. But Gateshead just camped out inside this Scunthorpe.
Switches back on Ollie. He's on his own.
Ball through there to Denanga. Lovely touch and turn. Can he get his... No, the trickery. Tried to put it across the goal. And Ogle can clear the ball, but nobody there. Gateshead just so high up the pitch. And at the moment, it's been quite easy at the moment. But, as we've always said, teams at this level, you've got to respect on the break. They can score goals, but... Story once again, space, no one closing him down. Whelan dropped back into centre back position. Story plays it back to Pye. Tinkers finds himself on the left hand side of the defence, but Whelan ghosts over, plays it to Ward. Ward, a little dink to Ollie, didn't get there, and now Pugh, can he find a teammate? He can. Ball forward down the left, and now they can try and drive forward through Shields. Shields lays it off to Elliott, left-hand side of the box. Wilson's waiting in the centre, so is Feeney, but he's up against two Gateshead players closing his down. And now we wait for Scunthorpe to build again. This time, having to play across the back, closed down in midfield. Got space now. The shot comes, and it's always rising, and that's a frustrated shot.
Well, it's a shot, though, and it's a positive. That was a nice little patient build-up. Danny Elliott again. Good hold-up play. But yeah, just, as I say, a bit of a lack of confidence in across the board there.
Well, no other scores in the game at Aldershot or Torquay. Of course, Aldershot playing Yeovil. And at the moment,
Got a foul?
Gateshead win a free kick just in front of the dugout of Scunthorpe. 24 minutes gone. If you are just joining us, either on the Heed Army podcast audio stream or on National League TV. Gateshead at the moment playing the better of the football at the moment, more possession. But Scunthorpe, they've shown they can break, but they need to capitalise on their movement forward. Free kick.
Don't think there's going to be anything too clever with this one.
No, I think this is just going to put up towards the edge of the box. Up it goes towards Louis Story. Didn't win the header, but Ward will pick up. Well, let it go out. I thought he was going to pick up the loose ball to throw in on the far side.
Greg Ollie long throw, possibly.
Well,
we should only be surprised that Louis Story didn't score, given he's going for.
There's time yet. Or as he's affectionately known on the streets of Rio de Janeiro, Storzinho. Greg Ollie is going to, now with his trademark long throw that we didn't know he had. Headed clear, back to Ollie. He's got space to lay it off to Conter. Conter now plays it inside. Story holds it up back to Conter. Couldn't get the shot off. It just deflected away. Thought he would have put a bit more power in, but Elliott manages to get it to Wilson now. Feeney on the right-hand side. The ball can come across from Shields now.
Very good.
Good vision from Shields and good footwork, but Feeney, he's got the overlap or the underlap, but he puts the cross in. It's just too easy for the keeper. Easy.
Getting themselves into good areas and then just playing poor passes, crosses.
Credit to Shields, so it's a lovely bit of footwork just to get the
really good,
that across. Well, Pye can just trot forward with the ball. Very narrow in midfield in attack or Scunthorpe at the moment. Pye has the ball again. Inside to Conter. Ward is in acres of space, but Conter can play it back to Francis. Across to Tinkler. Whelan quickly moves into space, but the ball forward to Ward takes a deflection and it goes out for a throw in front of the travelling Scunthorpe fans. I think
Dan Ward has just got to show a bit more for the pass from Tinkler, because he's playing quite a difficult pass there, but if Dan just drops off, he's got a simple pass forward and can build from that. that right hand side. Excellent.
Tinkler plays it across the pie just in the centre circle. Back to Tinkler. Gateshead at the moment well versed in the wing back play at the moment as the ball comes in and Ogle has to clear it. Only as far as the edge of the box to Nanga. Was he fouled? Referee says no.
Christie's pulled him down.
Well, Pye nods the ball back and the referee had a decision to make there and he certainly made his, but Gateshead still in possession. Pye back to Marshall.
He definitely pulled him down there, by the way.
Wow.
It's good
linesman was close over that side. He didn't flag either. But Tinkler, ball forward to Ollie.
Sorry, nowhere near.
Can he put a ball in? He can. And Ogle there. It's going to fall to Tinkler. Lovely touch to bring it down. Closed down, though, and cleared by Richard Everton. But Gateshead pick it up. Francis. Whelan drops deep to show for him if he needs it. Clever play from the two. Look, they're the two central midfield players dropping back. It's lovely movement to cover other people's positions when they've been.
It's just discipline. It's showing the right discipline, the intelligence on the game to know what's going around you. It's really good.
Dinanga
too easy
up against Everton. Richard Everton. There's Feeney. Puts it out now to Pugh. Pugh can cut inside. Conter sticking with him. Ball through. Lovely stuff there from Whelan to win the ball. Whelan gets the ball back from Conter. Gateshead on the attack. He has Ollie in front of him. Wern out to his left, who he uses, just slows it down. Gateshead still moving forward with the ball. Crossfield ball to Ward in acres of space. Lovely touch to get past his man. Can he finish it? Oh, body in front of the ball, but it falls to Wern. Left-hand side of the box. Twisting and turning. Wins a corner.
Dan Ward's done everything right until the finish. He just couldn't get the shot away, he? Couldn't adjust his feet. Again, with Vern, I think he's had a really good game so far, by the way, Stephen Vern. He's looked really dangerous this left-hand side and more promise from Gateshead. I said it earlier, but the midfield too, and you sort of brought up there, Francis and Callum Whelan, they've been great, two great additions, haven't they?
They certainly have. I'll mention the discipline, both the wing backs, they hug that touchline, don't they, and give space, but Whelan, edge of the box, goes to the shot, and that just rises as he hits it.
There was a moment there when it looked as if it was nestling that far corner. In the end, it's gone well over, but it's just taken a quick upturn, hasn't it?
But I mean, we mentioned the wing backs, not traditionally players you would have put as wing backs. Obviously, Panny as well, who's being rested today, and scored a fine goal in midweek. If you haven't seen that on the highlights, or if you weren't here, and ball headed forward. Was I pushing the back? The referee says no.
That's a foul.
Well, half expected a wonder from Conter there, but the ball's over the top. Dinanga, it's going to bounce just into Bilson's hands.
Well, the referee's missed two fouls there, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Tinkler coming in to close this down. Brave from both players. The ball was there to be won, but it falls to Gateshead in midfield. Lovely ball out to Ward on the right-hand side. He's got players to aim for. Nice bit of footwork from Ward to keep the ball. Whelan back out to Ward. Mention the discipline, straight back into position. The ball comes in. It's going to fall to Scunthorpe, though, and they can try and clear it as Feeney now comes off.
Gateshead's work rate's been phenomenal so far, by the way. Whenever they're losing, I know we always praise this, but whenever they're losing the ball, they are constantly pressuring and getting that ball back, trying to.
It looks like on the far side. I think it is Leak. I think it's down on the far side. But yeah, no, we mentioned discipline throughout this, and we've always had discipline throughout the season. Just had trouble putting the ball in the back of the net, and we mentioned the injuries. Of course, you can't always put it down to that, but you're seeing now Gateshead fourth or fifth in the form table at the moment when they've had a run of games where they've been able to put out a strong starting 11 with a stronger bench, and it just goes to show you that I know it's been said so many times, the process. They've stuck with it. They know it will deliver the goods. And when you've got the players available that you want to be able to play, it's paying off.
The difference at the moment is you look at that bench, the Gateshead bench, you could feasibly make an argument for all five starting.
Without a doubt. And it was the same on Tuesday night as well. And that's been the thing when you go into these games now where the FA Trophy, of course, a different animal. We'll go into that with 6 cup tie players unavailable. You would see you going into it underhanded, but passion got us through and skill. Let's not forget we went 3-0 up in that game. But you look at this now, and the team it's coming together at the right time, and thankfully for Gateshead, of course. Obviously, I know Scunthorpe will be thinking it isn't for us, but yeah, it just shows you if you stick with it, stick to your principles, and you believe you've got the right players in, then things will turn around.
But as well with the trophy as well, you look and you think now, we can't look too far forward, but when you looked at that final, Kenton Richardson will be back fit. You can have a fully fit Owen Bailey. Elliot Ford may well be back available again.
Yeah.
It's yes, there's going to be players who can't play, but they'll be replaced by players who are back fit and can play. So
and as you say, arguably would be in line at the start. So yeah.
It looks though Louis Story's changed his shirt from number 6 to number
29. Yes, with another. We had that on Tuesday night for a Yeovil player, of course. Allowed to play with any blood on the shirt for health reasons. Louis Story. I didn't see where that happened. It must have been in one of the jostles in the air, but he's popped his nose, it looks like. We are going to get back underway here. Referee not allowing Louis Story back on yet. Get a crucial interception there from Conter as Richard Everton puts it out to the far side.
Number 29. Louis Story's now wearing.
Come on, Ken.
Well, ball across to Feeney, who's sitting increasingly deeper as the game goes on. Conter comes in.
No
foul. Ball to Denanga. He's going to get there. Richard Everton is going to get in front of him. But that is a poor bit of defending. He won the ball. He should have been able to control that.
Quick one.
Well, quickly taken. Conter to Wern. Wern, full of confidence, running at the defence. Cuts inside. Can he lay it off? He's still got the ball.
Oh.
Lovely stuff to Ollie. Back to Wern.
Oh, what a
beautiful goal!
What a goal!
Beautiful! The link-up play
a goal.
inside the box. They're quickly taken through in. And Gateshead, well, the man that started it, finished it.
That is absolutely stunning football from Gateshead. Stephen Wern, Conter, great combination. Lovely ball back to him. It looks a simple ball, but the ball back from Ollie, he doesn't have to break stride, Stephen Wern. It's such a lovely finish. A lot of players would have just lashed at that, but he's just calmly stroked it beyond Tom Bilson. Gateshead deserve this lead. They've been far the better side. And, as said by the Twitter account during the week, by the way, it looks like Mike's entertainers are back.
They certainly are. And we're into the 34th minute, scored in the 33rd. Wow. But the question you ask now is, what have Scunthorpe got in answer? They have to do something now if they want to have any glimmer of hope.
Well, David said something similar last week, didn't they, that on Saturday, that Gateshead have to get through to half-time at least 2-0 up. They can't afford to let Scunthorpe have anything or anything to build on. So that's the challenge now for Gateshead.
Well, Elliot manages to gets the ball back that he tried to win himself, but there is Dan Ward to clear it. And Richards Everton brings it down, plays it back to his keeper. Bilson rolls it out. Gateshead putting the pressure on Wern, nearly intercepted the ball.
He's done very well there, the defender, to be fair.
Ogle plays the ball down the line, chested down. Gateshead win it though. There's a pull on the shirt. How did the referee not give that? But Gateshead still
He's done well.
Have the ball. Conter plays it inside to Wern. Wern out to Conter. The ball just sticks to him like glue as Conter now nicely holds up the ball back to Wern. Wern still going.
Was that as well, by the way?
Free kick on the edge of the box.
That's outstanding football from Gateshead. It's. I know we hark back to last year at times, and we do it quite often, but the football you're seeing here is every bit as good as what, if not better than what we saw last season. That's just brilliant, and this is dangerous, by the way.
Well, Wern's first touch has been absolutely sublime. I had problems on Tuesday. I kept going off. Mark was asking why I haven't put the score up on the audio feed. We don't want it to stay on. But yeah, no, it's just sublime. Wern's first touch. I mean, the finish was beautiful, but he hasn't given the ball away, I don't think. But Ollie here, halfway inside, down the left-hand side of the box, right on the edge. In it comes, deflects back to Ollie, brings it down. Francis with the underlap. Can he put it back across?
Great
he
ball.
Can.
I thought
Denanga was just going to poke a leg at it. Ward. Has he going to... Oh, and the ball has been cleared on the far side, and it goes out for a throw. It was Leak that managed to clear it. And, well, can Gateshead get another one? 9 minutes remain here in the first half.
I wouldn't rule anything out.
Gateshead 2. It was Wern that scored the second goal. Tinkler, right-hand side. Pulls it into Ollie. Ollie has
touch.
the run of Ward. Ward's first touch holds it up. Just went away from him.
It's a work rate again, though.
It is. And Gateshead putting the pressure on right in the corner flag of Scunthorpe and tells you everything that Danny Elliott's the one that has to clear the ball for Scunthorpe. Tinkler plays it back inside to Whelan. Tinkler plays a ball up towards
Could have just
Ward.
started again there, you know.
Well, Tinkler nodded it down. Can Ward get there to foot race? It's going to roll out. And there we go. Gateshead 2-0 to the good into the 37th minute. And, well, as in the past 2 league games that we've seen here, I've expected a little bit more from the opposition. That's not to say it won't come, but at the moment, it's been quite good for Gateshead.
But I don't think Scunthorpe made them work hard enough. I mean, the Gateshead have worked hard, but I don't think it's down to the opposition. I think it's down to their mentality. But I look at the way Gateshead's passing is slick, but I don't think they're making difficult passes. It's just that there's gaps that they're exploiting.
We've seen that one little when Shields made the underlap down there. That was some nice slick passing, but that's only one part we've seen. But here we are now. Scunthorpe on the attack. Feeney on the right hand side. Ball comes across to him. Elliott is in the centre, but he needs more people around him as Feeney has the ball. Left hand side crosses it in. Marshall can just pluck that out the air, and that needed to be put in a better delivery.
It needed to go in quicker. He's given Gateshead a chance to get back in there, and Phil Marshall's handling's been excellent today, by the way, and his distribution
really has. Well, he throws it out to Pye, who has space to trot into. Feeney should be coming across there to close that down, close the angles, but
just a lack of energy at the moment.
Story goes for a ball over the top towards Ollie, brings it down. And Leak had to be there. And bad from Bilson. Conter nods the header, couldn't direct it towards the Gateshead player, and Scunthorpe can try and clear the ball now, as now Feeney has it.
Really
There's options in front of him. Whelan closes him down. Good stuff from Gateshead, and they're going to win the ball, but it falls back to a yellow shirt. But they pick it up now. Conter. Dinanga's in front of him. He's still going, Conter. Pugh brings him down.
It's got to be a bucket.
And that was a kick, and that surely has to be a red card. He's off.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Tom Pugh. There was a tussle. It was awkward, but there was no need to kick a player when he's on the ground, and he has done his team no favours.
Do you know what? When you're at the bottom of the league, when you're struggling the way Scunthorpe are, you have to make good decisions. He has made an abysmal one there. It's idiotic. I don't know what he's doing. There's no need to kick out.
It was a competitive tussle. They were both going for the ball. Yes, he fouled Conter. Conter went down and then he kicked him. No need for it. And Pugh, he's let himself down. And dare I say, the travelling fans on the far side.
Look at you got the coaching staff asking him what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, we try not to be biased here. We are, wanting Gateshead to win.
If anything, I feel for the Scunthorpe fans.
100%, Dave. They've been badly let down by a player here. Badly let down.
Well, Gateshead have a free kick here, and they're down to 10 men.
What I will say, and I don't think anyone at Gateshead would need to know this, Gateshead now have to keep their own heads.
Yes.
Because the referee may well look to level it up. So Gateshead have to keep their own heads. Nothing stupid. Stay sensible.
Well, Francis is going to go for glory. It's going to come bounce back to him, though. The deflection. Tinkler comes over to pick up the ball. But yeah, if there is any Scunthorpe fans listening or watching on National League TV, wow. Feel for you there. There. If they were going to get anything out of this game, they needed all of the men on the pitch, and that was senseless. Ball up to Dinanga. Dinanga chests it down to Conter. Conter, it just got away from him, but he managed to get it under control.
The problem now is it gives Gateshead even more space to work in.
It really does. Like that, there we go. Tinker has Akers. He's got into the centre. Nice control. Can he get the shot off? He can, but it's going to deflect past and it's a corner. Is it? Has he kept it in? He's kept it in. Well done.
I've got to be honest. I understand why Dinanga's having a shot there, but I think he's got to lay in Stephen one.
Yeah, Wern was he was standing there in a bit of space. 40 minutes gone. Gateshead 2, Scunthorpe 0, but Scunthorpe down to 10 men. Tom Pugh sent off for a moment of madness, carelessness, kicking out a Conter when he was on the ground.
There's no need for it, was there?
I mean, it's neither here nor there. It was a soft kick, but why lash out? It was senseless. But Feeney battling, captain trying to muster up something, got it to Shields. Shields been brought down by Wilson. Gateshead gets shirts in front of it and they can come away with it. But is there an outlet here? Oh, well, unfortunate for Shields there.
Play
No
on,
referee.
just play on.
Well,
Oh, referee.
you can sense the frustration from the Scunthorpe players there. But Feeney, captain, credit to him, trying to muster something there, winning the header high up the pitch. Just couldn't get his teammates to get the ball further up. But Story, crossfield
What a
ball.
ball.
Can Ward bring it down? He can.
Played
Takes
down.
it inside. Plays it back to Tinkler. Inside to Whelan, just has to adjust himself. Gateshead with lots of space in and around the box. It's too easy. It's too easy. Ward puts it in.
Oh,
Bilson,
oh,
and he didn't get the ball to it.
Jesus.
And wow. The space was there. It was just a training ground. Pass around there for a second.
Dan Ward's had a great game so far, by the way, on that right-hand side.
Well,
Do you know, if Gates again another one fourth time, this could finish anything.
Tinkler. For the time he's got. No one closing down. In comes the ball. And it went past the defence, just left it, and Werner's going to get there and keep it in. Lovely stuff from Wern. Strong play, holding the ball
Brilliant.
up the corner flag. Plays it into Conter. Conter picks. The referee gets in the way of Francis. Well, Francis is going to try and win the ball back, but not even an apology from the referee there.
He has now.
Yeah.
He has now, but that's really poor from the ref. You talk about positioning as a referee. Now, he just hasn't made an attempt to move out of the way.
No.
He hasn't done a thing there, and that's really, really poor because Gates had a really promising situation. Really promising.
Story brings the ball forward. Both wing backs hugging each touchline. Story plays it out to Pye, though.
The thing now, Gates can make the pitch as big as they want.
Yeah. Look, they're already making it as wide as the pitch it was before the extra man. There, the ball out to Wern. Up against Ogle. Does he have any trickery? He's trying to lay it off. He has. Francis puts a ball. It's hanging up in the air. It had to be headed away, and it's going to go out for a throw on the far side. And yeah, I feel really bad for the Scunthorpe team players. They've been
let down by a teammate. They've been let down by a teammate, and to be honest, the Scunthorpe fans paying the hard-earned money to come up here on a bank holiday. Yes, there are already 2-0.
Space as Ward on the edge box goes for his shot. He was never on top of it when he kicked it. And goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they paid the hard-earned money to come up here, and it's not the longest trip we'll make this season, but it's an awkward one on a Good Friday, and they've just been let down.
Tinkler nods the ball up to Ward, couldn't keep it in, throw in just in front of the travelling fans, who I think there's a few have maybe left a little bit early, or they've went to the pie stand at the back.
Half-time pie and pints.
Well, at least the pies are good here at Gateshead.
You're still trying to get that sponsor deal, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Dixon's Pies. They want to sponsor our trip to Wembley. As Wilson plays it back. Ball through the centre there. It's a hot potato for Scunthorpe at the moment. Gateshead just can pass it around at the back. Story, easy as you like. Plays it across to Tinkler, who's had a good game as well. Tinkler, he's ghosted into space.
Well, I don't think there's any Gateshead player hasn't, to be fair. I think they're all doing the job asked of them, and Mike Williamson will be delighted with this first half, I'm sure.
Wern in acres of space here. The ball comes across to Pye, though. Now Conter, who's on the left-hand side. I thought he was going to play it inside. He goes himself, though, lays it off to Wern. Wern.
Start again.
Back to Pye.
Just keep it.
Across to Tinkler. Ball through there. Denanga lays it back off. He tried to get it to Whelan. Feeney.
There you go again.
The ball.
There you go
Lost
again.
the ball. And Gateshead can try and do something here. There's not much movement. A stagnant defence from Scunthorpe as the ball put out to the right-hand side. Played off a Scunthorpe player. Feeney does well to guard it, but he falls.
Referee.
Foul given there.
Referee. Yeah, again, Gateshead's work rate has been phenomenal. Just, I remember saying last week that when you looked at Barnet and you looked at Barnet, I think I said they must be sick of seeing Gateshead players in the face. It's very much the same here with Scunthorpe.
Well, 2 minutes added on here. Three. 3 minutes added on at the end. We're into that now. And Scunthorpe will not be, they'll be dying for that whistle to come.
Some big calls to make.
Well, ball not kept in, and when it's not
Do you know
your day,
what?
it's not
Do you know
your
what?
day.
That's just a basic pass out of defence. It's a basic pass down the line, and it's just poor.
Well, dare we say they're staring down the barrel of a second consecutive relegation
Good ball.
as the ball goes across to
Good space.
Tinkler, acres of space. He has the ball to lay off to his right. Cuts inside of the ball though. Lays it back to Whelan. Whelan now can put it out to the right-hand side. Ball to Ward. Played inside. Ollie there. Lovely movement. Can he get past his man? Was he fouled? Ball goes out. And referee doesn't want to give too much advantage here, does he?
He's clearly clipped. You can see it. Do you know what it does do, Dave? And then I'm certain this will come to the thing in second half. Gateshead have a chance to rest what they will see as key players. I know they say everyone is key.
Well, of course, they've got 3 games in 5 days. It's a big ask, but playing with confidence and able to rotate the squad for the first time all season. The ball just fell between the two players. Elliott couldn't get to it either. Throw into Scunthorpe.
You think next week's a big week, isn't it? The Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. And this just...
Of course, the 2 games on Wednesday is one of the games in hand. And if they can pick up points in any of them ones, but now at the moment, Scunthorpe trying to bring the ball forward. Shields on the far side, and ball goes out of play off Ward for a throw. An opportunity for them to get the ball moving quickly.
There you go again. Gateshead forcing them backwards. This is really good. Really. Oh,
well there, that's a nice turn. Running inside. He's got space. No one wants to foul him, but the tackle comes in, but it goes out to a Scunthorpe player. In it comes. Back post. Wilson just couldn't direct it back across. Elliott was there. But yeah, I think that's probably all we're going to see here in the first half, and a confident performance. But Scunthorpe done no favours by Tom Pugh. A moment of madness, seeing him get a red card for lashing out for seemingly no reason. Ball.
Frustration.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Chance.
Ward brings it down. Can he dink it over to Ollie? He can. He's got Richards Everton on his back.
Excellent.
Ward. Gets to just calmly play it back, and there you go. There is the half-time whistle. A good half for football for Gateshead. That sees them going 2-0 up and a man advantage going into the half-time here. And Mark, more than same in the second half, nothing silly. But the thing is, Scunthorpe, if they want to do anything, they're going to have to come at Gateshead, and that has its own perils as it does, because they've already got the space that they're giving to Gateshead.
Where you could be looking at, limiting the impact of Gateshead more than going on to try and get something from the game, because I look at it and now you just think Gateshead are streets ahead. They look confident, they look slick passing, the work rate's top notch, and I just think the Scunthorpe side looks all over the place. And you can see the management team having a chat as they come off there. They've been left up against it by their side today. They haven't done, I dare say, what's been asked of them. As you said, the red card has not helped them at all. Just really poor.
Yes. Well, we're going to go into the halftime break. We're going to play an interview with Carl Magny from last week's podcast. Remember, join us this Thursday night. We'll have 3 games to talk about. Thursday, 8 p.m, and hopefully we'll have someone on from the club. We didn't get Bernard Williams this week. So we'll be back with you after this. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
We have our guest, the man, the myth, the Magny. Here he is.
Very good, Dave. I did like that.
Looking pretty relaxed. All right, Mags.
Was that from Charlie last season? That?
Yeah, it was Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one, David. Fine work.
It was. I say that obviously excitement's all building. We can all allow ourselves to get excited for this game now. Obviously, with the league games out the way, you've been in this position. Is this the 5th time you possibly could get to Wembley?
4th. This will be 4th.
Yeah. So I mean, fair to say, you're not getting on that far in age, but you've got a bit of experience, and you've got experience in these games now. So you're going to be bringing that into the dressing room, surely.
I plan to, but I mean, it is fair to say that I am knocking on. You can say that without us getting offended. But yeah, I think considering it is such a young group, it's important that I bring that experience. And of course, you've got Clarkey, who was involved the first time round. We went with Gateshead, so having someone like him in the building that the lads love and respect, he can obviously chuck his hat into it as well. So yeah, if we were to get there, I'm sure there's plenty of people that we can call on that can sort of bring the lads at ease and give them, you know, a taste of what to expect, I suppose.
Yeah, and I say it's just obviously it's all ramping up at the moment. Where we've had a blast tonight with Said. Actually, someone's asked us to ask Carl the big question: have you been watching the show at all before you come on?
I haven't seen tonight. I've been working, but I have watched the show previously, but not tonight. What have I missed?
Well, you missed my 8-year-old daughter while she was supposed to be in bed. Has covered herself in lipstick all over her face, and we want to know. It's been she's been on the show showing it off. Do you know how to remove lipstick well?
Not well. I should know because I've got 2 nieces, but no, anything that involves mess or if there's nappy needs changing, I'm a classic uncle and just leave the room.
Yeah,
and just let the parents deal with that. It's none of my business. I'm afraid.
I try to do that as a dad. I'll let these lads ask some questions while I find.
Good lad. So, Carl, Mickey's nervous. Do you get nervous before these big games, or do you just sort of get in the zone and just go and do your thing?
I think I used to get really nervous. I've never really showed it. I probably don't get as nervous as lads that I've played with in the past. I've seen some lads really struggle with big games. You know, at different clubs and stuff. I've had a teammate at Hartlepool who, you know, would actually be sick before games, and not even big games, just normal league games. Would take himself off into the cubicle and would actually be violently sick before just a normal league game, like. So I'm not on that level, but I think it is what everyone says. You know, you need them nerves to get the best out of yourself, to make sure that you're alive and you're on your front foot when the game starts. As I've gotten older, I've tended to not feel the pressure or the noise as much. But yeah, there will definitely be an element of nerves going into the game at the weekend, especially given, you know, what it means and what's at stake.
Aye, absolutely.
Given what's at stake, I'm nearly being violently sick and shit myself.
Both ends.
You want the gods on the truth, Mags. My underpants are wrecking. It's on you bloody Thursday.
Man.
Lovely.
But that's, do you know, as awful as that sounds, Mickey, that's, and I don't mean this to sound sadistic, but that's what we want. That's what we want you to go through. You know, that's what we do it for. You know,
it's been doing it for years, Max. So.
I think it's good to feel something in it. Obviously, preferably not out of both ends, like you've said there. Like, but we as players, you know, you want to give fans the opportunity to get excited, and this hopefully is a good opportunity for yourselves to look forward to something. But even if it's a nervous feeling, you know, just to feel something as a fan. I'm obviously a fan myself, and that's what you want, you know.
I just want to see you recreate that. We're going to Wembley on the pitch side again, like you did the last time. That's still.
I remember that on the track after the Grimsby game. Yeah.
So Ben Allison, you mustn't be up with the full bio of Carl Magnier, but which teams have you been to Wembley with? Of course, it was Gateshead. You mentioned Grimsby, and was it Hartlepool the other one?
No. This was when I was a kid. So the new Wembley, I've been there twice with Gateshead and Grimsby.
Yeah.
But then when I was a kid, I was there like in youth tournament sort of thing. So yeah. Professionally, I've only been twice, so this would be the third time professionally.
Now, I don't know if you remember this story, and I don't know if you still do it, but when you came on the podcast, you said that the lads used to give you a little bit of jip for a little John Terry statue that you used to bring with you to the games.
That's absolute. That is complete bollocks. Who told you that? It had to be in Chandler or Marwood or somewhere like that, was it?
I think it was. I was going to say, can you dig it out and bring it on Saturday?
That is completely. They've had you on there because but it was just obviously the whole Chelsea thing and that. And when I was younger, maybe I did speak about it subconsciously quite a lot. I don't know. I certainly don't anymore after the stick that I got because of it. But it's unavoidable sometimes, you know. If a new player came into the dressing room, they would maybe ask, "Oh, you know, what was it like at Chelsea?" And you know, different player. And as soon as I opened my mouth to respond, which, you know, just being polite, you know, I couldn't sit there and just ignore the kid or whoever was asking the question. But as soon as I opened my mouth to respond, like I could see, especially that group, Chandler and Marwood, and all their eyes were going down the dressing room thinking, "Oh, here he goes again. Here's JT." You know, if he drops JT in the conversation. So then they started making these lies up. Or they've obviously told you that I had like a John Terry figurine that I used to carry around. I do appreciate JT. I've got a lot of respect for him, but I don't carry a miniature plastic like in my bag or whatever on a daily basis.
I'm absolutely devastated that I thought that was true. I thought he'd be on your mantelpiece.
Honestly, I genuinely believed he had one of them, like, you know, the little like cartoon figurines. I thought, I wonder if he's still got it. I was like,
no. We're all still in a group chat now, and can you remember Josh Walker, who played for season on the Carruthers? Josh is double lively in that group chat, and now and then, just randomly, even though it's been 8 years since we all left each other as a squad, there'll just be a photo of me and John Terry like pop in the group, or you know, just randomly, and no context behind it whatsoever. So yeah.
Have the lads wished you luck for Saturday?
Not yet. Everyone's. I'm just seeing the group chat kick off here because Marwood's just had a second child. So
fantastic! Quality.
Thought he was wagging.
He's taking the attention at the minute, but I'm sure there'll be a few messages prior to the game. Because to be fair, that group, there's a lot of us who are all really close friends, and we see each other quite regular and drop each other messages and whatever they're doing now.
You mentioned Josh Walker. He's back playing, isn't he, in Scotland at a lower level? But nice to see him back playing. He scored a raker of a goal the other week.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who's
about 30 yards. It's I think it's like Northern League level in Scotland.
Is it? And last I knew he was playing for Edinburgh City, I think.
Yeah, no, this was hired, and then I think he's dusted the boots off to play for a lower league side. But I
was going to say it must be really low league because judging by his height when he was on holiday, he got some stick about his gut. So it must be.
Hey, Carl,
he's getting to play at this stage.
Yeah.
Do you see any comparisons with the unity in this squad to the one that went to Wembley in 2014, Carl?
Hello there, everybody. We are waiting for the teams to come back out here for the second half. And Mark, everyone around us is of the same opinion. It could be a cricket score in the second half. And also everyone of the same opinion that Tom Pugh's let everyone down for Scunthorpe.
I think looking at Gateshead's aim for the first 10 minutes of the second half, first 15 minutes maybe, is 1, not to concede. 2, to resume their absolute dominance of the game and possession, and 3, to maybe try and get another goal, because I think if the third one goes in, you will see something of a collapse from the Scunthorpe side. The main, most positive thing I think from Gateshead's point of view is you look at the way players have just settled into this side. I was thinking about this just before, and you know, players who've come in, they've just eased into the squad, and that's because the 1, good characters, and 2, very good players. So Gateshead, just don't give Scunthorpe a sniff in the first 15, and just, I guess, try and sicken them and tire them out, and keep using this pitch, make it as big as possible.
You would hazard a guess they're going to come out the first 15 minutes. If they get one, they'll keep pushing on. otherwise it's an uphill battle. It already is an uphill battle. But say Peter Walters, but don't feel sorry for the opposition. Pile it on. Oh, you cruel man. But no, obviously, from a Gateshead perspective, of course, we're very happy the way things are going. But look, when you see a club in turmoil, it's never nice. Never want to revel in it. And just an uphill battle became the north face of the Eiger this afternoon.
We go back 3 years. You know, I put something out before where was it 3 years? 4 years. 4 years.
4 years.
It's feels longer. You know, when Gateshead, there was demonstrations going on outside the stadium over the previous owners, and the same day Ipswich United did the same over their owners. And Gateshead have been there. They know how tough it is. Yes, they haven't been, relegated from the Football League and not long after being in the Championship, but we know what it's like to not have the owners you want, the ones that make decisions that bemuse you, and the ones that take the club to the brink. But you know what? At the moment, Scunthorpe, you look over there, it's a great support. I'd hazard a guess that over 300 have come up.
Yeah.
There's not many clubs in this league do that. Again, I will go back to the fact that it is a bank holiday, it's Good Friday. It's phenomenal from them. It really is. It's great support. And those supporters in that first hand who are sat there watching this performance deserve a lot better. And, you know, I hope they do get it. Not, if I'm honest, when we get to that on, not over the second 45 minutes here, but certainly in future, I hope this club can undergo something of a resurrection, because they deserve better than being in the second tier in non-league football, which it looks at the moment as if that's where they're going to apply that trade next season.
Certainly is. And we mentioned in the early stages of our opening build-up that it's a very hard league to get, as we know. And there's so many elements. There's some big tough teams down there, but also players that might surprise some Scunthorpe players playing for opposition, players that could play higher level who are playing part-time and getting a decent wage playing football as well. It's the different nature, the different part of the beast of non-league football. It might be, I want to say, we spoke to some Oldham fans on the podcast earlier in the season, and they said it was a culture shock coming down to this level. Well, let alone that, it'd be a slightly different one going to the level below that again. But to say that hasn't happened yet, but from what we're seeing here at the moment, they need to show a lot more in their remaining games if Aldershot don't win. And we're going to see Aaron Martin coming on. I haven't seen Tananga come back out yet, so I wonder if Marcus has took a knock.
I think they'll just be resting him.
Could be, yeah. But as I say, this would be a lovely game for Martin to break his duct. Of course, it's a strange thing when sometimes when you sign a player that doesn't score goals and not have the fans on his back, everyone's willing him to score because they're saying that he's just been so unfortunate, injuries, and of course when he was playing the lone striker, he didn't have this team behind him.
Am I right in thinking that he scored, but went out as an own goal?
I think so, yeah.
You see, I think this is a great move to bring him on and try and get that goal. I think is there a sub come on for? No, ignore that.
No.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. It's a great point you make for once. We look at, you can hear it there. People cheering his name behind us. The Aaron Martin song going out. You would love to see him get this goal because he's got a big part to play between now and the end of the season. He's probably going to start the trophy final.
Yeah.
So it's a big chance for him today.
It certainly is. And dare I say, if he broke his duct at Wembley, what a way to introduce yourself by the end of the season.
We'll have it before then, please.
Yeah, we would like to see him get in a little bit of form and in his groove before then.
Let's hope he gets his 5th goal at Wembley.
Let's hope so. But Gateshead underway, shooting towards the Felon end. And say that one change for Gateshead. Aaron Martin on for Marcus Denanga.
Yeah, just looking at the way Scunthorpe were lined up, it looks like a sort of 4-2-2-1.
Oh, puts it inside toward. Oh, look.
Oh, the idea was lovely.
As in Martin just tried to flick it on for Ollie there. Unfortunately, wouldn't go over towards him. And Bilson can urge his team up the pitch. Well, I would hazard we might see a substitution in 10 minutes if nothing happens for Scunthorpe, as Danny Elliott nods the ball on into absolute acres of space where nobody is there. And as I mentioned it earlier on, even before the red card, they were so narrow up top. They've just got their wing backs who aren't getting forward, and they've just, it's like a Christmas tree formation, so to speak.
And again, we look at this Gateshead now. Look how high the wing backs are. You look at how big they're making this pitch, how they're stretching it out to try and make Scunthorpe run and run and run. It's going to be a long 45 minutes, especially if Gateshead can get on the go.
Certainly as well.
Because then it could go into damage limitation.
Well, Marshall, let's get the ball out to Story now with Pye. Across to Whelan, who just drops into that zone that Tinkler leaves to go higher up the pitch. Pye plays it to Ollie. Ollie has Ward in support. Plays it inside though. Conter goes for the shot and just pulls it wide. But yeah, the gaps are there. Them shots are there to be taken. I know it can be frustrating, but Gateshead are sitting comfortable at the moment. And, you know, if you can score an audacious one when you're 2-0 up against 10 men, you know, I don't think the manager's going to be too unhappy if you've tried to pull the trigger.
And the one thing I'd say, Dave, is that you look at it and you go, it's one thing having the space, it's another actually exploiting it. And Gateshead are doing that very well at the moment. You know, they are being given time, they are being given space, but they're using that time and space really well.
Well, Gateshead just passing it around the back. Louis Story, that quarterback for Gateshead, just gets it across to Tinkler. Tinkler's got Ollie on the inside, Ward on the out. Gets it to Ward. Ward plays it back to Tinkler. It's a patient build-up from Gateshead. Ollie pings it to Whelan. Brings it down to his Adam's apple. Gets it to Ward. Ward just wins a throw-in. Trying to get danced between the two Scunthorpe players. Tinkler going to take this throw. Right-hand side, halfway inside the Scunthorpe half. Just past the dugout as Aaron Martin shows for it now. Held the ball up well. Got it. Oh, nice. Lovely stuff from Ward. And Gateshead now. Martin, he's taking it down, tries to pull it across, gets a corner.
That's good. Yeah, he's done really well there. Just again, Dan Ward involved again.
You can see what happened there because someone walked past us. I missed it.
It was a little miscommunication where they both sort of left the ball, waiting for the other one. But yeah, he's done well there. You know, Martin, it's a good opportunity.
Ollie takes it short to Francis. Francis looks up. He's got Whelan. Back out to Ollie, right-hand side of the box. Lays in the centre to Conter. Appeals for it to shoot. Appeals for Tinkler to shoot. Puts it out to the far side. Now Pye can play it back to Conter. Everyone's the same shoot to everybody. Whelan, he's going to put it out to Ollie. There we go. Ollie can now ping it across. And coming in, but Richards Everton puts it behind, or out for a throw, sorry.
I'm pretty sure, you know, Dave, by the end of this game, you're going to get his name right.
I am. One of them, yeah. Well, I think we're going to stick with Everton, but, you know...
No, it's Richard Everton.
Yeah, Richard Everton, but he's, you know...
Switched off.
Gateshead, short throw to Whelan. Ollie plays it inside to Story, back to Whelan. Across now, Conter puts it in. Oh, it's passing stuff around the edge of the box. Wern leaves it off to Francis. Wern again. Who cuts inside? Can he go for the shot? Oh, he's just about to pull the trigger.
He's done really well there.
Gateshead just playing with the ball at the moment. Ollie, right-hand side of the box, plays into centre. Wern. This is just training game for Gateshead at the moment. The space is there everywhere. Plays it inside to Story. Tried to put it off. He thought Ward was coming in, but there's Aaron Martin to chase it down. Ball's going to go out to play for a throw just next to the dugout. Quickly taken. Story shows for it. Now he gets it. And Gateshead can build from the back. And, you know, dare I say, you said damage limitation there before. It seems like it's damage limitation already at the moment for Scunthorpe. They're not venturing anywhere outside of the defensive zone.
Yeah, to an extent, but this could be just sort of limited to...
the ball got through. Unfortunate for the Stockport player, Shields. Tinkler dinks it through to Ollie. Oh, and it's been a go behind. Is it going to bounce behind? Oh, it's bounced on the line, and now it goes out. It's a corner at Gateshead. But yeah,
you're probably right. Just try and keep it at 2 for as long as possible, and then try and sneak one, you know, as the game goes on. But at the minute, they're not even getting a touch on the ball. It's. I
think they really need to get someone upside next to Danny Elliott, because
you look at the bench and you could see, you know, someone like Marcus Carver come on.
Short corner, put across now. Wheel on the edge of the box. Always looked like he was going to tee it up.
Tempted.
Pye back to Tinkler. Everyone in the last third of the pitch, bar Marshall. There isn't Marshall, who I found out from his mum and dad. Pye, though.
I
thought it did. I think it just clipped off the ball, off the woodwork there.
Yeah, just given so much time, he probably could have taken it even closer, you know, because he's not closed down. You know, Scunthorpe looks as if they're going to try and play off from the back again, which they are. It's a dangerous ploy.
it's commendable, but you would think Route 1 would be the best option. I know it doesn't always deliver the goods, but when you're a man down, you just got to get the ball higher up the pitch.
The worrying thing is you got someone like Adam Connell to come on as well.
Yeah, the pace to burn as Ollie brings the ball out toward Martin in the centre, and it's going to go out for another throw. Oh, come on. Nope. Throw. Referee teasing us there with the flag. I want to see a long throw here. In an ideal world, you'd love to see a back header on towards Martin.
That was out.
But the ball goes.
It was a mile out.
Referee makes his mind up. It's a throw to Gateshead.
I'm fairly certain that was a corner.
I would go for the long one here. Story's going up.
Probably going to score, isn't he? Let's be honest.
That's not being disrespectful. Scunthorpe is just in a great run of form at the moment, if anyone didn't know. As the ball comes in, bounces up, headed clear though, but Gateshead can pick up the loose ball, and it's just easy for Gateshead at the moment as Francis gets it to Conter, now out to Wern. Lovely stuff as Francis then that ball put out of play on the throw side, and yeah, it's going to be a long 37 minutes here for.
I feel like it's been a long half already.
Yeah, it does. We're only 8 minutes into it. Well, Wern leaves it back to Francis. Francis has Whelan and Tinkler to aim for. Gets it to Ollie though. Ollie pings it back to High. Conter just plays it inside to Martin. Martin just didn't anticipate that one, but the ball goes out for a Gateshead throw nonetheless. There's the ball played down there. I was talking to Marshall's family before the game, and they mentioned that his brother's a basketball player. There's certainly some height in that family. The ball played inside to Martin. Martin tried to get it forward to Ollie, but ball's going to go out. It's a
great idea.
Shrimpton seen it out.
I think we're going to take your advice and go along, Dave.
Yeah, I think it's. You got to hope that Danny Elliott can win a header and flick it onto someone that's going to anticipate it. But we haven't seen that so far for Scunthorpe as the ball goes up towards Danny Elliott. There's the nod down and nobody's anticipating.
Oh, he looks sick, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, we know what Danny Elliott can do, and they're not exploiting his talents in a Scunthorpe shirt at the moment. Great ball across to Tinkler.
Great ball.
There we go. Ward just in space as well. Who he uses right hand side down towards the dead ball line, pulls it across, comes across. Oh, thought Conter was just going to come in there. Whelan brings it down. Nice. Oh, lovely out to Tinkler. Tinkler now can look to cross this one in, and it comes there. Oh, I thought Aaron Martin was going to get a connection. It's been cleared. It hasn't. It's been played off Ward. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a great ball in, isn't it? Just asking to be headed home, but yeah.
Well, it does look like we're going to see some shuffling of the pack for Scunthorpe here. There is movement on the substitute bench. You would hazard a guess it's going to be an attacking player. Aaron Martin laid off to Conter. Conter drives into the box. He's got Wern for company. He's still going. No, now Wern. Ball comes across. The offside flag did go up. There was appeals. And it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Conter's just held on to that one extra touch, and that's seen Wern go offside before the ball was played. But again, lovely little double touch from Conter just inside the area. Said it before, but I think this kid's got a Football League feature out of him.
There hasn't been many offside decisions going, and that's just showing you the timing that has been fantastic from Gateshead as well. As Elliott did hold the ball, goes out for a throw to Gateshead. When it's not your day, it's not your day.
Not, is it? It really isn't. It's they just need to get a foothold in the game and try and get out, because at the minute Gateshead are just camped in their half.
Well, they need a wide man or two, players to play out a little bit wider that can cut in, and you hit it to the flanks, because I don't think they're going to get anything going through the centre. Well, Gateshead just happy to play this out to Tinkler. They've got two wing backs on at the moment on the right hand side. Tinkler given the freedom to venture a little bit higher up the pitch, as is Ward. Ward's in acres of space here. If Ball comes out to Tinkler. Ward just in front of him. Ollie on the inside, plays it into Ollie. Ollie just has to hold it up, gets it back to Tinkler.
It's no rush. There's no need to rush.
It's just passing it. Oh, lovely stuff there. Just the space is there. It's too easy again as Ward now can lay it down. Ollie, can he pull it back across? He wins the corner. Oh, he was just trying to pull it back. Aaron Martin was running into the near post. And wow. And Aldershot are winning 1-0. So as it stands, Scunthorpe United will be playing National League North football next year. Ball to Ollie. Ollie now inside to Ward. Ollie gets it back. Oh, just Francis goes for glory himself. Who stings the hands of the keeper.
He's done very well, the keeper there, because he looked like he was going to spill it.
Well, Gateshead quickly back into shape, waiting for this. Well, brought forward by Leak.
Good work there from Aaron Martin. Yeah. There is going to be Carver coming on.
He waits perched in the dugout, waiting for when they're going to make this substitution. And you'd think sooner the better, wouldn't you, for Scunthorpe? But at the moment, Aldershot are winning 1-0 at home to Yeovil. And that would effectively relegate Scunthorpe. Ball played forward. Gateshead tried to get the ball under control, out it went. Ball over towards the back line there, and it's going to be Smith who can look to get this ball forward. Well, Gateshead get the ball in midfield, and now Conter. He's got Wern on the left-hand side, who he uses. Plays it back to Pye. Well, ball, crossfield ball, beautiful to Ward. He has time to bring it down. Tinkler. Back to Story in the centre circle. Everybody inside the Scunthorpe half bar. Marshall. Nearly said Marshall there. Old habits. There's Pye. He got it to Wern and just managed to keep it in.
Just make sure he's awake.
Oh, there we go. Lovely little touch from Whelan to Tinkler. Now to Ward. Ward. Back to Tinkler. Nice section of passing from Gateshead. Keeping the ball under control.
It is, and it's also, and we haven't given them a lot of credit, but it's nice disciplined defending from Scunthorpe. You look at them, they're sat in and they're putting the pressure. That's good.
There
really
we
good.
Go now. Ball played out on the right-hand side. Wilson just holds it up. Better from Scunthorpe.
It's really good.
Feeney lays it off. Played forward and out it goes for a throw on the far side. And as we just mentioned, need to get a little bit more width. Leak was going up a little bit higher when they were going to distribute the ball from the goalkeeper before there. They are going to try and put a bit more width in there going forward. But we'll see what happens when Carver comes on. What kind of formation? Well,
good touch.
A lovely touch there from Leak. Leak driving with the ball here down the left-hand side. He's still going, but he's got three shirts around him. And Ward just comes in sneakily like a sniper and takes it away. And then Gateshead can pass it around and try and get themselves out of trouble here as Ward plays it into the centre.
It's a good ball, you know.
Pye can get it to Conter. And now Gateshead on the break. Ollie right-hand side. Wern left. You've got Martin in the centre. Conter puts it out to Wern now, who tries to get it across and goes for a shot. Bilson down to gather that one. But yeah, it's slick play from Gateshead, disciplined as ever, but the discipline is helping them find space. It's calm, it's collected.
But the thing is, as long as it's at 2,
yeah,
they've still got a chance, because one goal really sets nerves on edge a little bit. I know it's probably been extremely negative given that they haven't had a shot on target yet, but there is always that little inkling at the back of the mind. But a third goal just kills it off.
Well, Feeney nods the ball up in the air. Tinkler nods. Ollie nodded it forward. Leak gets in front of Martin to play it back. Bilson's clearance. Nodded on by Tinkler, brought down by Feeney. Plays inside now. Feeney can try and get the ball moving, but Gateshead close it down. Shrimpton plays it back. Shrimpton has the ball now inside to Feeney, but the ball was not very good. And Gateshead on the attack now. Martin and Vern busting the gut. Francis on the other side, but Martin gets the ball. Was he? Oh, he just couldn't the wrong side. And now Shrimpton can try and get this ball under control. Distributes it to Danny Elliott.
Good touch.
Elliott just gets it under control. There's a player down on the edge of the box.
And now he's up.
And he's up. And Danny Elliott, well, Gateshead, are they going to pass it back in sportsmanship? Well, now they've put it out to throw it to Scunthorpe, and it's going to be a substitution, double substitution. We're going to see Carver coming on with number 31, Dean Rance. So surely they have to bring off someone behind Danny Elliott. If they take off Danny Elliott, they've got to keep that attacking option there for me. I mean, we know what Danny Elliott can do, but he hasn't had the service thus far.
Oh, I think we've got another nose injury.
Have we?
It looks like Aaron Morton.
Well, yes, he has. Yeah, he's got the tissue down there at the moment.
It was more spare shirt. Club shop open.
Noses are popping everywhere at the moment. But Rance and Carver still waiting to come on. As now Gateshead temporarily down to 10 men as well. It's 10 versus 10. Scunthorpe looking to get the ball moving. There's a bit of urgency on the pitch. More vocal voices in the yellow shirts as Feeney plays it out to the right-hand side. Driving forward with the ball. And the poor ball can just intercept, and Gateshead can clear now. But that's a poor ball picked up in midfield. Sloppy Feeney plays it forward out to the right-hand side. Forward for played in there, and it's a corner. And that's the first bit we've seen from Scunthorpe fans. The irony, they cheer a corner. That shows you how bad it's been this afternoon. If you're just joining us, it's Gateshead 2, Scunthorpe United 0. And Gateshead,
as I say, if they can get one, give them some hope.
Give them some belief.
It is Danny Elliott.
Well, Danny Elliott, of course, put a great shift in for Gateshead on loan earlier this season. After he went back to Boreham Wood, he did move to Scunthorpe, and he gets a warm round of applause. They appreciate what he did in the Gateshead shirt here, but he leaves the action, and he's replaced by Marcus Carver.
The thing with Danny is that, when Gateshead stay up, he's a big part of that because he got some crucial goals.
He certainly did.
Up some crucial points.
And also as well, goals in the FA Trophy as well. Would he pick up a medal if Gateshead were to lift the trophy?
You're asking me to second guess the FA now, which is never wise.
Well, we're not going to criticise the FA because we're hoping to be on commentary duty. Love the FA.
Yeah, I'll stay
neutral
on that one. I'll take the corner.
Well, Captain Feeney off as well. Dean Rance on. Well, urgency in the box as this delivery comes in, headed clear by Gateshead. Wern gets across there, controls it, pings it back.
Well, that was different.
That was different as a one. They've got another corner, and the fans are in raptures on the far side compared to what the state they've been in the rest of the game.
Leaving the pitch, number 5, Danny Elliott. Number 7, Liam Feeney.
Well,
a spare man.
Dean Rance. Number 11, Marcus Carver.
A decent one comes in, and the one the header hasn't went out. It's still there now, but it's going to be a Gateshead throw next to the corner flag on our left.
You look there, you've got Panny, you've got Bailey, you've got Campbell to come on. Don't need to make a change, but if they want to.
Personally, myself, I wouldn't too if the games are coming thick and fast, but, just to get a little bit of time in the legs. You wouldn't complain if you seen Adam Campbell come on, would you? As the turn. Oh, Conta nearly pinched the ball from Rance, but they can build from the back now. Good pressure from Gateshead. Conta wins the ball, and he's got the lovely bit of skill to control it. Lays it off to Francis. Ward's in acres of space here, and Tinkler just slows it down, plays it across to Pye.
You look at Scunthorpe, what they're trying to do is defend narrow, and that will open up space. Dan Ward just stretching off there. I wonder if he could.
He did earlier on there as well, I noticed.
Put a shift into there. What he always does.
Well, could you see Panny come on and Wern swap sides?
Yeah, I don't think that would be a shock if that was to happen.
Well, Gateshead.
Or just go full attack and put Adam Campbell as a wing back.
It's Football Manager stuff, that, Mark. Crazy, crazy. You're a maverick.
Not a very good manager. That's what I'm not.
Well, Gateshead off the ball in the centre circle, out towards Tinkler. He's got Ward in front of him, who he uses. Ward back to Tinkler. Back to Story. Sitting very deep
I'd
at
love
the
to see
moment.
Gateshead's passing stats for this game. The amount of passes they made.
Well, you'd like to see the radar of where players have been on the pitch, the shift that they've all put in. I'd
The heat
imagine, that's what I was looking for. It would all be red at the moment, right across the park. As Tinkler, acres of space, acres. He has options to his right, puts it in there. Oh, Martin just
what a
couldn't
ball.
get the connection.
What a ball that is, by the way.
Oh, it just whizzed through. Martin made the right run and just couldn't get a lace on it.
It's a brilliant ball, isn't it? A brilliant ball.
Oh. Well, goalkeeper gloves off at the moment. Bilson just tying his boots, puts the gloves back on. Well, I don't know if this will make it in the highlights, but a big shout out to our friend Charlie Wath. He takes some fantastic photos. He's caught some beautiful moments this season and all the other seasons gone by, and he'll be there at Wembley as well. I didn't quite hear that there, Mark. What was the attendance?
1,804.
Wow.
Which is
I mean,
great.
The stand is, looking to our left and right, it's
And I think
jam-packed.
I couldn't hear the exact number, but over 400 from Scunthorpe, which is brilliant.
Yep.
Again, I will reiterate what I said twice, but they deserve better than what they're getting.
Well,
Such as that.
Yeah. Well, you can't blame his laces. He tied them.
Not very well.
No.
Not very well.
Get that lad some Velcro.
I'll get his mum here.
The ball to Story, wearing 29, as he had a blood injury earlier on, changing the shirt. Blood, sweat and goals this season from Story. Plays it to Tinkler. Ollie on the inside. Lovely touch. Lays it off to Whelan. Gets it to Aaron Martin, who lays it off and couldn't get it to a shirt, but falls to a grey shirt now. Ball across to Ward. Can he keep it in? He can. Come across from at some speed. Now to Ollie. Martin and Ward in the middle. Francis lays it to Tinkler. Just passing it around, hoping for the space to appear. Tinkler now has Ollie. Ollie gets it through the legs, fortunately. Is it going to fall to a Gateshead player? No, comes away, and now Leak can drive forward. What a tackle from Robbie Tinkler. And Gateshead on the attack. Ward, right-hand side of the box. He's got Martin to aim for. He's got a few others. Liz off to Conta. Oh, good save. Really good save. But Conta can go and retrieve the ball on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's really good from Gateshead again. Nice and patient. Cameron Conta has done the right thing. Tried to control it instead of just lashing it. But good save.
Apparently that man, Macaulay Langstaff, scored again.
Who?
I don't know. He's making a name for himself. It's beautiful to see. Out towards Wern. Wern back to Whelan, who's dropped deep. Well, we talk about discipline and being stayed switched on, and Gateshead, they haven't been challenged that much, but what they've done it very effectively and had to they've just dominated the game. Out towards Ward.
Chance here.
Ward gets it back to Tinkler.
Craig Ollie's made a great run there. He just needed the ball quicker.
Story plays it to Pye. Everybody inside the Scunthorpe half again. Wern controls it on the line on the far side, back to Pye. Pye now plays a crossfield ball. Ollie just dinks it to Tinkler. Lovely stuff. Plays, nearly got through. Lee can't have a crucial interception there. And Gateshead now, they've controlled it, Gateshead. And it's everything is falling to them at the moment.
Yeah, because they're making it fall to them because they're working harder. Yes, Scunthorpe, I'll be honest, they've been more disciplined second half. But Gateshead are just working that little bit harder, and they're just making life easier for themselves because of that.
Well, Tinkler to Story.
Yeah, we've got Paul Dixon here so my left, just talking about the fact it is like attack v defence. It is like a training session at the moment.
Yeah,
and Scunthorpe, they'll work hard on this. We know what Michael Nelson's about as a manager, as a coach.
Gets it on the attack now. Tinkler, corner of the box on the right hand side, played back to Stories. Stories up in midfield practically at the moment. Lovely turn from Conter. Can he lay it off? He can. Wern on the far side. We need a delivery in there. Lovely little flick. Francis lobs it over. And the keeper just
just for a moment.
Just for a moment, I thought he was going to put it in the back of his own net there over the line in his hands. But it's chasing shadows at the moment for Scunthorpe. It is just a training game.
It is, but Gateshead's passing and movement's been exceptional. They are creating space, the space naturally because of the man down for the opposition, but they're using it very well. The pace of the passing, and the fact that it's so fluid in the formation as well.
Well, Sambi Ferris is warming up he's stripped, ready to come on.
And Bailey's warming up here. One of Gateshead's
about
subs.
18 minutes remain. And Gateshead dominating the stats here in possession. Marshall.
You say we've got 80 minutes left. They may as well go for it.
Yeah, they have to.
You're going to wait 2-0. You might as well go with 3 or 4.
Go down fighting, as nothing ventured, nothing gained. As Gateshead happy to pass it around the back. Story thinks it there, and the man advantage is just showing here at the moment, as it has. But even before that, Gateshead were finding the space with ease. Ball out to Ward, right hand side. We need a delivery, but he's closed down by Leak. Francis got the ball nearly got it to Ollie, and Richards Everton plays the ball out, and Emilio, one of the photographers, trying a little bit of skill there to impress Mike.
Nobody was impressed.
Nobody's impressed. Did you see him sneak into the celebration photos as well? Yeah.
It was us.
It is
Cameron
going to be
Bailey's coming on.
Cameron Wilson coming off. Owen Bailey coming on. Is it going to be for Whelan? Just having a look there.
Substitution for Scunthorpe United.
We change the back.
Number 20, Cameron Wilson, replaced by number 27, Ron Sandy Ferris.
Well, the linesman having a bit of banter with Owen Bailey there.
I think someone's made an error.
Yeah, fourth official or someone on the bench with the paperwork there. Just the fourth official getting his numbers right. I think it could be Whelan. I think I've seen a 3 there, but we'll wait till it's confirmed.
It's not Stephen Wern.
It's Wern. Wern is coming off. And
no,
it is. It's Whelan. We got there in the end.
Wern just looked as if he was coming off, didn't he? Yeah. Not a word with Conter, but they've been a nice little link up on the left, by the way.
Yeah, it's been as I say, he played on the right last Tuesday night. But Whelan, lovely round of applause from the home fans. They appreciate what he's done here. On loan from Solihull, and he's slotted in.
Been a very good signing, hasn't he? We spoke about it the day he signed, actually, that there was a little bit of flack coming from his former club, but Whelan's been brilliant in midfield. I think every time I've seen him, he's just looked in control.
Well, sometimes players aren't the right fit at certain clubs for the way they play football, and at the moment, in a Gateshead shirt, it lends to his game. His game really lends to Gateshead style. And at the moment, the ball comes out to Ward. Ward plays it inside to Bailey. Bailey tries. He tried to get. He's won a corner there.
Yeah, it's got to. Deflection.
Bailey in good goal scoring form himself, scoring on Tuesday night. If you watch the highlights on that, you can see Marcus Denanga.
All the shots now 1-1.
It's 1-1. So Scunthorpe with a glimmer of hope. Ollie puts it in. It's been half cleared. Wern from the edge of the box. Looked like he was going to go for the shot.
Free kick.
Free kick in the edge of the box? No, but it's been cleared. And now Scunthorpe can try and break down the right-hand side. Ogle drives forward. There we go. And it fouls.
Brilliant. That's absolutely sensational defending from Ethan Pye. The way he's got back there, because Ogle's quick, by the way. Some played Hartlepool a bit, and he's got a bit of pace on him, but brilliant. I think you arguably say Ethan Price probably been Gateshead to play of the season, by the way.
I would certainly agree with that. Ward and acres of space. It's been given to Tinkler, who's in space himself on the right-hand side. Now Ward has it. Ward can play it back to Owen Bailey. Bailey across to Story. He gets the ball back himself again from Francis. Now Pye. There's always an option on the flanks as well. If you look, Wern just went out there, hugs a touchdown. We look down to our right-hand side. Ward's doing the same. Nice stuff from Tinkler. Just holds it up. Patient play from Gateshead. Patient. Pye. Every player within 40 yards of the goal at the moment. Bailey out to the right-hand side. Delivery has to be good. In it comes. Nodded back out. And Gateshead can get the shot off. It's going to deflect away. And now it's hooked clear by Sam Shields. But Story can just trot back, get it under control, and carry the ball forward himself. There we go. Well, there's a young fan in attendance down there. There's a baby. He must only be about under 6 months old. And what a display they're getting today. What a game to come to as a 6-month-old. The ball goes across to Wern. Lovely vision. Brings it down. Good control. Ogle's on him, though. Back to Pye. Pye back to Story. And once again, Gateshead just calmly build again.
There's just no need to rush.
No
need to rush.
Story. He's driving forward. Gets it to Ollie. Ollie's got Ward here on the right-hand side. Goes inside. Ward is still going. Can he get the shot off? Hits the woodwork. Beautiful stuff. And I tell you what, if a man deserved a goal, it would have been him today. He's been doing some lovely stuff on the right-hand side.
He has. He's had a great game, Dan Ward. His work rate's been phenomenal. He's done that little cut inside a few times, and the Scunthorpe just haven't read it. But what a strike with his left foot.
Well, he must have been watching Connor Panny thinking, I'll have a go with the other foot.
Hey, what a goal that was, by the way.
Oh, yes. See, I had a good left footer sitting next to me. I've got one now,
thanks
actually.
Very much, Dave.
But I had Scott Barrow sitting next to me on Tuesday night, and it was a reminiscent of one of his type of strikes from outside the box, wasn't it?
Second best left footed player we've had in the.
Is Charlotte Potts left footed?
I said this week. All right.
Well, Scunthorpe try and build. Gateshead win the ball, and now, is that a foul? No, referee says play on. Good play from the referee, if I'm honest. Not an agreement there, Mark. Here we goes. Gateshead. There's a foul. I'll agree with that one. Free kick, 25 yards out, maybe 30 yards. Left-hand side of the D.
Someone saying their results not going Gateshead's way, Dorking and York winning, but it's really not about the teams above them, is it?
It's all about the teams below, and Gateshead are doing what they have to do, and they're picking up points. And the form table speaks for itself.
All the shot playing
the oval.
See that's it's not a bad result really. Two sides below them. Drawn.
Ward in acres of space. The ball's going to come to him here. Puts it back across. Wern was coming in. Well, it was telegraphed, that one. You could see what was coming. Everyone's seen it apart from the Scunthorpe defence.
I'm just not really sure why Dan Ward's got that much space. Yes, it's one thing in open play, leaving space, but from set piece to leave a man on his own back post.
And it's not like they've just had a man sent off after all the substitutions. They've got a full quarter of defenders out there. Well, the away support has dwindled somewhat on the far side, and you can't blame the fans that have left. There's a ball nodded up to Martin, who clatters into Ogle. The ball was there to be won. It's an unfortunate coming together there. But Ogle is down at the moment, and Aaron Martin, I think he might have took one in the nether regions, as he's down at the moment. He's checking if they're both still there. 10 minutes remain. You would hazard a guess 3 to 4 minutes added on. And, a very long half of football, but an enjoyable one.
Just
for Gateshead persuasion.
Dave, just a quick one. That Macaulay Langstaff goal, by the way, is a big one. Because it means he's broken the record for the most goals in the National League season. Sorry.
Wow.
41 goals.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I should probably answer your question, it's been a good day for Gateshead. It's been a good performance. It's been a one where they've been able to use the squad a little bit. Lads have come in and got good game time that maybe haven't. And most of all, more than anything, they've got the result, or gone a long way to getting the result that they need.
Well, Dorking have dropped down to 19th place at the moment. Yeovil have climbed up a place, but they're still 6 points. 1 second, still 4 points adrift of getting out of the relegation zone. But at the moment, it's not for us to concern ourselves with at this moment in time. If Gateshead can carry on in this form,
I think,
dare I say, 4 points probably guarantees it.
I don't think anyone will say anything guarantees it yet at Gateshead. I think it's they'll want as many points. Well, they want maximum points between now and the end of the season.
They certainly do, but you look at especially if the win the games in hand, I suppose is the way to look at it at the moment. But Ogle and Aaron Martin both off the pitch at different sides of the pitch. The flying mullet will be back on. Don't worry, Scunthorpe fans.
High line from Gateshead.
Very high line. They have to win this. Header. The ball comes up. Ball goes through, but it falls to Leak. Now, Shields. Left-hand side comes off Ollie. And, the urgency's coming now, but it's took 83 minutes. There's
another goal to get to a 0-goal difference.
Wow.
Which is some effort, by the way.
This
can be a long throw.
A long throw going to come in here. Men committing themselves forward. Only Aaron Martin and Regan Ogle back on the halfway line. But Leak is going to launch this one in as he does. Header has to be won. And Gateshead win a foul there as Owen Bailey went down. And Gateshead will take the time here. Well, a big thank you to everyone that has joined us both on the Heed Army podcast audio stream and on National League TV. Let's say at the moment, Gateshead, you're just joined us 2-0 to the good and in control at the moment, but don't rule anything out.
Looks like they've gone to more of a sort of 4-3-2 now, doesn't it? 4-2-3. I'm trying to work out how.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4-2-3. It looks like they're playing the front three. They've got to go for it. And to be honest, I'm surprised they haven't done it earlier.
I thought they might have went a little bit more direct from about 60 minutes and had more men to aim for up front. But at the moment, Gateshead in possession through Tinkler across the Story. Gateshead have the full pitch to spread the ball across back into the centre circle to Story. Tinkler's in acres of space, but the ball comes back to Story from Bailey. Francis back to Story. Story across to Pye.
So
all the way back to Marshall. Marshall has got time just to put his foot on the ball. 40 yards out. Across to Story. Who's under pressure. Back to Marshall. Nearly said Marshall. 5 minutes remaining of normal time. 5.5. And, Gateshead just happy, as they have been for much of the second half, just to walk the ball around as the ball comes to Tinkler. Tinkler has Bailey on the inside. Ward cuts inside of it. Francis out to Tinkler. Ollie's showing on the right-hand side, who he uses. Ollie cuts inside with the ball. Can he get it across to Martin? Martin, edge of the box, lays it off to Conter. Back to Ollie. Francis. It's all in tight proximity, but now it goes back to Story. Story has Tinkler, but he uses Francis. Francis now to Tinker. Ward's in acres of space once again. The ball goes inside.
Sometimes it's easy to say it's easy to do this against 10 men, but Gateshead were doing this against 11 as well. This passing, it's really neat. You hear the Olays.
The Olays are coming out for the second game in a row here. There's now, it's going to be laid off to Ollie. Just bounced up onto his shins and out it goes for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's lovely football, isn't it? And, I mentioned about demoralising Scunthorpe. They have improved second half, I will say that. They look more disciplined, but I think even without the red card, I think Gateshead go on and win this game. It's just been a little bit more straightforward for them with that red card in there.
It certainly has. And say once again, we thank everyone that has tuned in. If there's any Scunthorpe fans still watching, if you're putting yourself through it, we commend you. And well, it is another the fat lady sings, but she's warming up the cockles, I think. There's Story.
402 in the away end. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Really commendable. Ball across to Tinkler. Story. Well, from a Gator perspective, another goal would be nice, and the icing on the cake would fall to number 15, Aaron Martin. He's always just a whisker away. Maybe he shouldn't have a shave. He might score. Conter, left-hand side. This is to Wern. Wern just plays it back to Pye. This must be 20 passes or more. Unchallenged. Story. Pye. Story. Pye. A little bit of frustration growing in. As I say,
Oh,
there
like
we
that.
go. And you could see it coming. There was challenge.
you could-
People were
you
running
could
up
see
to it.
It's got to be yellow, surely.
Yeah, as he hops off the pitch there, Conter. You know, that says everything about the young man Conter there. He went off the pitch if he needed treatment so it wouldn't hold up the game. Wow. I mean, he's back on there. He's hobbling a little bit. But what a young man he is, Camille Conter.
Well, I mentioned that piece I did with him a few weeks back for the Sunderland Echo, and he's just such a unique character. I've never seen a more enthusiastic person.
I don't know if you can see this on the National League TV stream, but Dan Ward doesn't have anyone near him for 25 yards. As he goes right over to this touchline. Story plays it back to the left-hand side, though, with Pye. Back to Story.
How many passes Louis Story's made today? But
I said he's like a quarterback, and he's dictating it all from the back at the moment, isn't he? Bailey drops deep, just on the halfway line, plays it to Tinkler. Tinkler back to Bailey. Lovely to see Bailey back on the pitch. There was even fears he might not make it back this season. That ankle injury, but he's back out there.
oh, touch Louis.
Louis Story. And it's played all the way back to Marshall, who can just trot out of his area. He's telling Story to drop deep. We talk about confident young men, and that's a confident young goalkeeper who pings it over the top, looking for the run of
you know,
Ward.
that's not a bad ball either.
Yeah, I think in the first 20 minutes, half an hour, Dan Ward might have got on the end of that, but he's put one magnificent shift in this afternoon. And Marshall, he'll not have many easier afternoons than what he's had this afternoon.
Time to award your Gateshead Man of the Match, sponsored by Personal Services Limited, our official travel partner. Owned by Bella
Interesting to see who this is from on the match.
13 genuine contenders today. Captain's performance by number 10, Greg Ollie, just sneaks it.
Greg Ollie gets the man of the match.
Funny enough, that's kind of who I was thinking. I thought he's had a great game today, Greg.
It's going to be between himself and Dan Ward for me. I thought Dan Ward's had a good game.
So Stephen Wern as well on the left side.
Yeah, even Story. You know, the amount of he's probably touched the ball more than anybody else in the team today. Well, say frustration just growing in there.
Talk about you don't give them a sniff.
Well, Gateshead play the ball down the line. There's the run. Can Aaron Martin get on the end of it? He can.
Well there.
He dinks it to Ollie. Ollie takes it down to dead ball and pulls it back. Oh, I thought it was going to come through to Wern, but it's going to fall to Ward, who brings it down and just ran into a yellow shirt. But Gateshead can pick up the loose ball. 2 minutes added on here. Offside flag goes up. 2 minutes added on. I thought there would have been more, but I think the referee just wants to put this one to bed early.
Did that not come off? Strange. Anyway,
It's a bit one, yeah. 2 minutes added on. We're into that now, and I think it's safe to say Gateshead, they've done their survival hopes a massive, massive world of good.
what we said about this week, didn't we? That was a big week for Gateshead. You know, the trophy game, then the big game, a big double game at the stadium against
Nodded
two
forward
sides
by
at the
Francis,
who
who got the free kick.
to come out with 6 points and to come out with 6 points and to be at Wembley as well. It's been a monumental week for the club and one that they can look back on with pride.
And not only that, of course, mentioned Gateshead, not the biggest of clubs, not the biggest of finances, and a fine home following here. 1,400 in the home end. Just shows you the interest is building in the club.
There's a Wembley will only help with that, by the way.
Without a doubt. Well, young fans going down to give players go down and congratulate Gateshead. And just before we do go off air, once again, just heart goes out to Scunthorpe. When not going to revel in anyone's misery. Football's a cruel mistress. But as Peter Cook said, it brings blood to your back. But yeah, no. Look, all the best going forward. It's not over yet, unless there's a late goal at all the shots. But look, football's there for keep believing, and hopefully Scunthorpe will rise again. As Gateshead just comfortably play the ball around the back, and there is the full-time whistle. Gateshead run out in dominant fashion here at Gateshead Stadium. 2-0. Greg, Ollie and Wern with the goals. Fine goals, but a fine confidence. Not confident, just the words I'm looking for escape us at the moment because it was just so divine. It was a lovely, yeah.
It's a professional display from Gateshead. They've done what they had to do. They've kept a clean sheet. They've limited chances. And they're punished an opposition that have kind of dealt themselves their own blow.
They certainly did. Of course, the red card of Tom Pugh in the first half was really the nail in the coffin. It looked that way. Gateshead were already finding space in the first half, but they've went out, they've done their job professionally, they've kept themselves absolutely composed and just professional throughout. Mark, an absolute pleasure to do the commentary with you. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in, whether on National League TV or on the Heed Army podcast audio. Join us on the Heed Army podcast. But Gateshead have 2 more games this week. They're away to Altrincham on Bank Holiday Monday, and then they make the trip down to the south coast to Eastleigh on Wednesday night. The games come thick and fast, but if Gateshead can pick up more points, safety is just around the corner. So once again, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.